What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I specifically want to talk about the second stimulus check. Currently, what's going on with it? When could we expect it? And is there going to be a larger stimulus package coming? I want to address those questions because just over the past few hours, I have watched probably dozens of videos, if not more, and they are filled with lies about this second stimulus check. That it's coming, it's going to be in this next package. And a lot of these YouTubers and some of these are large media outlets are spreading misinformation. So I just want to give you the facts as to what is currently going on. Now, although I don't give you, the most pleasing news, I try to provide facts so that you can actually get the right information and you can, do with it as you wish. But I get it. I don't give the best information. I don't give the most exciting news. But again, it's the truth and the facts. If you appreciate that, can you do me a favor? Go ahead and hit that like button. Also, feel free to share this video with your friends, family, and coworkers over on Facebook as well, so they too can get the facts. With that said, what is currently going on with the second stimulus check, and when can we expect to see it? Those are the questions I've been getting a lot lately. I try to address it in every single video. I understand some of my videos are a little bit long and you don't want to watch the entire thing. I get it. You have lives. You got more important things to do than watch me sit here and talk. I understand. But what you need to understand is there is a small chance. It's a very small chance, probably somewhere around the 15%, maybe 10 to 15% mark, that we see a $1,200 stimulus check in the $908+ billion stimulus package or COVID relief package. Technically, they're not calling it a stimulus package because there's no stimulus check. However, Nancy Pelosi is believed at this point to be softening her stance. She's requesting and somewhat demanding stimulus checks be included in this proposal. The problem is more and more Republicans are saying they will not support another package with stimulus checks because it would make it too expensive. In order to include stimulus checks, we would have to take away from something else. For example, we could take away from some state and local government funding, but that's needed to help distribute the vaccine. We could take away from housing assistance. There's about $25 billion there, but that is needed, and we actually need more than that. We could take away from food assistance, from nutrition assistance, but there's about $26 billion there, but we probably need about that, if not more. We could also take away from education or PPP funding, but again, all these things are needed. So where do we pull money from is currently what's being asked. What we know is that right now, by Nancy Pelosi softening her stance, this is creating more of an issue, because if she doesn't soften her stance with demanding certain things, then the government funding bill will not get approved. And if that doesn't get approved, they can't attach the stimulus or the COVID relief package to it and vote on that one time. And reports out right now are they're going to push it back about 1 week. And so hopefully they will have an agreement and a bill passed by December 18th. But again, we just have to wait and see. What we know is that Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and Joe Biden all want to see stimulus checks in this proposal. But the cost is going to be too high to make it feasible at this time. It is because of this that they're looking at the next stimulus package to get this done. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what next stimulus package? We can't even get this one addressed. How are we going to look into the future to the next stimulus package? Well, what is currently being looked into is Joe Biden, when he takes office on January 20th, what he's expected to do is first sign a handful of executive orders that will deal with a bunch of different issues. We're not getting to that in this video, but he's going to do that, and then his next task would be to have Nancy Pelosi negotiate a new deal prior to him taking office, so that once he does take office, hopefully he can go ahead and sign that bill and be done with it. Now, that's just a report. We have to wait and see if that actually happens, and we won't know that until most likely after January 5th, where we see if Congress is actually going to, well, for one, pass this bill, but we also want to see if and who wins the Senate in Georgia. That is going to be huge. And as of right now, until we see that, the tough thing is we don't really know how to move forward. And I get it. It's difficult to be where we're at right now and have no clue what we're doing. But that's honestly where we're at. We're trying to move forward, but we can't because we don't have the whole picture. We do not know who is going to be controlling the Senate as we move into January. And that is what Nancy Pelosi really needs to know right now. So, what does this timeline look like? Okay, what does it look like in regards to the next stimulus package? Well, here's what we know. This is where things get really tricky though, because the more and again, this is extremely tricky, and I want to try to be as basic as possible so that it doesn't get too complicated. But here's the problem. Right now we have a bill or a proposal for $908 billion. If we go and add to that proposal, and there's more pieces of legislation within it, what's going to happen is it's going to take longer for the next stimulus package to get passed. I understand you're thinking like, what? Why is that? It makes absolutely no sense. Here's the reason why. The reason for this is because the more that is provided now means there's going to be more taken care of for a little bit longer for the next coming months. For example, let me give you a couple examples to kind of give you an idea. Unemployment right now is slated to we're going to get that $300 per week boost for 4 months. Reports out, and if you didn't see my video this morning, go and watch that. I'll put a link to that down in the description box below. But if you didn't get a chance to watch that, I simply stated where we might not see retroactive stimulus or retroactive unemployment checks. We might see them start on January 1st, which means January, February, March, and April will all be covered for unemployment. Right now, senators are saying this is going to be a 4-month COVID relief package. If it's a 4-month package, that means we might not see another stimulus package until after April. We might have to wait until May to see the next stimulus package, unless it's a scaled back, highly targeted stimulus package that only addresses what was missed in the $908 billion proposal. This also includes, let's say, PPP funding. That goes for another 4 months. If businesses would not need another support for 4 months, why would we do another stimulus package? Well, we'd only need another package if businesses ran out and needed another draw. If that was the case and we needed more funding, well, this is what Congress would need to step up again for. So, this is why this $908 billion proposal, it would be great if we see stimulus check included in it, as soon as this week or possibly next week. But if we don't, we do not want to see this stimulus package get too high, because if it does, that means the chances of a stimulus check are going to drop. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully it does, because even when I was doing my research and putting all this information together, I was thinking how crazy that is, that we want a large stimulus package, but at the same time, if there's no stimulus checks, we want it to be lower so that when Joe Biden comes into office, there's a reason for him to come back with a larger stimulus package. Again, it's so confusing, but that is currently where we're at. Now, what you need to understand is if we see the exact $908 billion stimulus package passed as we currently see it, then stimulus checks could come much sooner. For example, at the end of January. That's if it's passed as we see it. And what's currently in it? Based on what we know, there's $288 billion for PPP funding, $82 billion for education, $45 billion for transportation industries, $16 billion for vaccine distribution, $26 billion for nutrition assistance, $25 billion for housing assistance, $4 billion for student loan relief, $12 billion for lender support, $10 billion United States Postal Service, $10 billion for child care, $160 billion for state and local governments, $180 billion for additional unemployment, and some form of liability protections. That's what we know is currently in it. Sorry if I read that a little bit quick, but it's something I've stated many times before. So, this would most likely mean that another targeted stimulus package with only a handful of items would be included at the end of January. And this would most likely be something Nancy Pelosi would start to negotiate as soon as she knows who won those 2 Senate seats in Georgia. And she should know that most likely by January 6th. So this targeted stimulus package that we could see in January would most likely include stimulus checks, additional rental assistance, more food assistance, help for Social Security, additional college aid, more state and local government funding, and some additional things like that. Again, this will be a targeted package. It's going to be a package where it kind of picks up where the pieces were dropped, or for just saying we're going to miss some things if we pass this 908 stimulus package or COVID relief package as it is. There's going to be people that miss out on stimulus completely. People on Social Security going to completely miss out. People that are working that do not get unemployment, don't have a business, they're going to miss out completely. Our homeowners that don't have rent that is due, that don't need food, they're going to miss out completely. So it's not going to be really a stimulus package to them, and they're going to be pretty much left out and absolutely nothing for them. But the people that are hit the hardest, it's going to drastically impact them. And that is good. We need the people that were hit the hardest to see the most out of this. But according to multiple reports, multiple Senate Republicans, okay, again, this is what they are saying. Another bill will only be necessary if people don't get the vaccine and it doesn't do its job. This was actually stated yesterday. It was also stated again this morning from different Senate Republicans saying that yes, we need the people, once the vaccine has been approved, we need them to go and get the vaccine. If they don't get the vaccine will not work and it can't do its job. If that's the case, or if the economy doesn't recover as quickly as some anticipate, then if either one of these things happen, then we should not expect another stimulus package. Okay? And this right now is what many people are hoping, that we don't need another stimulus package. But Joe Biden has already said this $908 billion proposal is going to be a down payment on what's to come this next year. So that is good news right there. Now, what is the most likely timeline for another stimulus package? I just want to make this clear because I know a lot of people are really curious as to, okay, if we don't see something now, when could we see it? What should we expect? What should we be looking for? The first couple of weeks of February is currently the most likely outcome for another package, and this will most likely be anywhere from like $400 billion up to about $8, maybe $1 trillion. And again, it all depends on who wins the Senate. It really depends on who wins the Senate. And that's what's tough to say, is because right now we're a month away and we don't know. We have no clue who's going to win the Senate. Right now it's being predicted that it's going to go 1-1. One Republican, one Democrat. If that's the case, Republicans still control the Senate and Democrats will obviously remain in control of the House. And then Joe Biden would take presidency. So if we see the 2 Senate seats in Georgia go to Democrats, then expect this bill to be a high priority as soon as Biden takes office. So most likely the first week, we should have some type of agreement. We should see bills just heading through both the Senate and the House and getting passed. Whether they get blocked in the Senate or not, that again is unknown. Most likely they would be, because they wouldn't have enough votes for the total of 60. But we'll have to see as we get a little bit closer. Right now, I can tell you that Joe Biden wants another stimulus check. And after going through the financial crisis of 2008, as he did with President Obama, he understands how important another round of stimulus checks are to the American people and to the economy. This is one of the reasons why I believe, and reading many reports, a lot of economists believe that once Joe Biden comes in, he will do whatever is necessary. He will spend whatever he needs to spend. Granted, he still has to go through a Republican Senate as of right now, but things could change. He will spend whatever he needs to spend because he does not want to see the same thing happen again that he saw back in 2008. We went through the financial crisis, the housing crisis of 2008, and we didn't really get out of it until about 2012, 2013. So because of that, do we really want to take another 5 years to get out of this crisis, this pandemic? I sure hope not. Just know that right now, stimulus to the American people is not what Congress is worried about. Yes, that would be great. That would help out a lot of people, but Congress is like, yeah, they don't really need it. They're more worried about the vaccine and providing for states and local governments to distribute this vaccine. They're also more worried about the government funding bill that will expire very soon, that they want to get that passed first. They want to get agreement there first, and then they'll worry about the people. That's currently where their priorities stand. So, as I know more regarding stimulus, I promise I'll come back and fill you in on what's currently going on. I just wanted to do this quick little update because I get tired of seeing all these YouTubers and these media outlets telling people lies, saying the stimulus check is coming. I'm very optimistic it will happen, but being optimistic and being a realist are completely different. I am very optimistic that it will happen, but at the same time, I want to be realistic and tell you that the chances of it happening right now, about 10 to 15%. They're not high, but it's still something. So consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's been going on. Make sure you share this video, give it a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one.